I discreetly tucked one of the wristbands into my pocket. This was getting almost too easy. Reggie found us a table while Candace headed straight to the dance floor. I pointed to the bar. She nodded and went back to swinging her body to the music. "What can I get for you?" the bartender asked, while I dug in my small purse for cash. "Gin and tonic." I looked up, right into the ice blue eyes of my stalker from class. He grinned and leaned his forearms on the bar. "Do you believe in fate, Green Eyes?" I matched his stance, bringing our faces close together. "If I say yes, is this one on the house?" "Baby, you say yes, and everything you want is on the house." I leaned in a little closer before I popped the $20 bill right between our faces. He snatched it out of my hand and raised his pierced eyebrow. "Tease." Before handing me back my change and my drink, his expression turned serious. "Don't take a drink from any of these guys. Only me." I nodded at his unspoken warning, thinking maybe he wasn't so bad after all. Candace already had a glimmer of perspiration on her face when I joined her. In minutes, I had finished my drink and just let the music take me. I'd been a dancer at one point, even had a few trophies to show for it. But it all stopped when my heart went dead. When I danced, though, I felt alive again. The extra shot my sexy bartender had slipped into my drink wasn't hurting things either. Several songs later, Candace grabbed my hand, saying she needed a break. We giggled as we maneuvered through the crowd to Reggie's table. Rusty must have joined him at some point, because he stood when we approached and gave me a shy "Hi." I noticed him concentrating on keeping eye contact with me to avoid looking at the cleavage my bustier created. Yes, Rusty was way too sweet for me. Candace fell down exhausted on the chair next to Reggie, and I excused myself for a moment, not offering where I was off to. I headed straight to my dark-haired bartender, who had my refill waiting for me when I approached. "What's your name?" I asked when he waved off my cash. "Jason," he yelled back over the music. "Yours?" I answered with a "nope, not yet" smile and a wink, leaving him to chuckle and shake his head. Reggie was in full story mode when I returned. I sipped on my drink, listening to tales of how everyone met and rehashings of football successes and failures. Rusty was the quarterback, and Reggie his protector on the offensive line. It was odd. I'd never had sober friends. More odd how much fun they were having just hanging out and dancing. I felt grateful I picked a drink that could be concealed. Somehow, I knew they would frown on my choice of beverage. Rusty was especially funny, and Candace was right about how the girls reacted to him. I lost count of how many came up to our table with the sole purpose of flirting. He was always nice to them, but would ease away when they would drape an arm over him or try and sit in his lap. I also noticed he never stood for any of them, like he had with me. A fact that both intrigued and concerned me a little. "You've got quite a fan club," I teased, after he brushed another girl off of him. "Sorry. It seems the longer I stay single, the more determined they are to get my attention. It's gotten a little out of hand." "So why stay solo?" I was curious because He seemed more like the type to be serially monogamous.